In this video series, we'll start with fixed layouts and move them to be flexible layouts so that when the browser window is resizing, they resize flexibly with it. In order to do that, we have a week 2 flexible cats.zip file for you to download from Blackboard. Go ahead and download that, extract it, and we'll take a look at it in Dreamweaver. In Dreamweaver, I'm looking at the index.html file inside my flexible cats. And I'd also like to take a look at it in the browser to see what it currently looks like and what the current behavior is. This is what we have. I haven't put the content imagery in, but we'll do that in a little bit. In terms of the whole page layout, this should look very familiar to you if you have taken the introductory web class. This is some kind of header image at the top. We have some columns, which is most likely an image with 2 colors in it. And as I resize the page, the whole layout is at a fixed size, so I just get more margins if I get bigger than the layout, and when I get to be smaller than the layout is, it just squishes up and gives me scroll bars. So I want this to resize. Our goal today is to figure out how to do that. Getting the lay of the land is the most important thing to do first. This is unfamiliar file. I'm not sure what the CSS is. I do not make the images, and so I need to figure out what is going on before I can even start converting this to a flexible layout. We'll also see some examples where we take a fixed width mockup and make it flexible, kind of similar, but let's have a quick look first. Well, first of all, this index file has 2 style sheets across the top, and so I want to briefly talk about what those 2 things are. This first one is a resets.css, and basically it's just setting everything back to normal. So this is taking borders, margin, and padding off of things. It's kind of getting everything to the left. So it's kind of taking all the browser defaults off so that you can start from ground zero. Then we load in the style.css, which is responsible for doing the styling. And mostly what I'm interested in terms of a flexible layout is what are the big chunks of the page and how wide are they, so I know what I need to use. My first number, that is the most important number that I want to look for, is the width of the whole page. Here I can see that this is where I'm looking, and the reason I know this is because this is the code that is used for auto centering inside the browser window, and that this is the width of 960. We'll see this width all over the place this semester because I'm giving us a lot of examples with 960 pixels so you can get used to it. So this means 960 is my overall width, and that means that's going to be my denominator when I start dividing. Here's the sidebar with a width of 324, and here's the content with a width of 636. Now, it's not rocket science to convert these numbers into a flexible layout. We're just going to go from pixels to percentage. That is it. So very simple. Let's get started right away in the next video. Oh, before we go to the next video though, another way to climb around and discover what's what, I love using the Chrome inspector. So I can right-click on an area like this content area and say inspect, and that will load up the inspector. Let me turn off the advertising. So that I can, if I have this selected over here, I can see the styles that are applying to it over here. So that's very helpful. Where's my sidebar? Okay, this is site content. Here's where I see my width of 636. As I mouse, it will highlight in the upper view. I'll scroll up so you can see. It'll do some highlighting so I can see that big margin on the right-hand side and some content there. Here's the sidebar, highlighted in blue, and if I click it, I can see what styles are applying to that. So in a big page, I will often just go to the inspector and click around and take a look at some different things so I can get the lay of the land. So now that I kind of understand what I need to do here, I understand what the widths are of the content and of the sidebar and of the whole overall width of the layout, I can go ahead and start converting this to flexible.